Hello everybody, Wild Bill for America here, and it's time for Coffee with Bill. Let's see what kind of foolishness we can find. One thing is for sure, the year 2020 will go down in history as the most brazen attack on the Bill of Rights since the USA was born. Specifically, the First Amendment has been the bane of liberals who want to force us into a totalitarian government where they can dominate and control every aspect of our lives. The Democrat Party is absolutely sold out to dismantling the Bill of Rights, but we are not going to let that happen. Now, one right that is guaranteed in the First Amendment is the right to gather peaceably. This national lockdown is an attack on that right. It is intended to bust up our churches and to shut down the paychecks of millions of Americans. Y'all better remember this on Election Day. Now, I like to get my news from trustworthy conservative sites, but there's something on them that aggravate me every day. I see pictures and quotes from people like Michael Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, Jim Carrey, Rob Reiner, and I just skip right over them. I don't read what those people say for the same reason I don't drink out of the toilet. They are poison. And I encourage these conservative news sites to stop giving these evil people a forum. WorldNet Daily says, national embarrassment. Only 43% of Americans know the meaning of Memorial Day. That is deliberate. The liberal education system is dedicated to eliminating American patriotism in our students. The magnificent history of the USA is being ignored. American history has been replaced with 101 reasons to be ashamed to be an American. Students who are ignorant of American history will never defend their nation against the liberal assault on everything American. Allowing liberalism to overrun our education system has been one of the worst crimes we have ever committed against our own children. You know what? Thanks to the Chinese virus, homeschooling has taken off like wildfire. And now the children apparently have teachers who have respect for the truth. Why do I call it the Chinese virus? Because it hacks off the liberals. Kamala Harris is trying to pass a law saying that calling it the Chinese virus is an offense, a criminal offense. How can you tell who's on the Chinese payroll? Well, just watch what they do. Well, looky here. A racist grizzly bear has been spotted up in Canada. How do we know this bear's a racist? He's white. And speaking of racism, the guy who interviewed Trainwreck Joe Biden the other day says that Biden is indicative of the systemic racism in America. Well, you know what? There is a racism problem in the USA, but it's not white racism. The most dangerous racism in America is black racism, and it's growing in leaps and bounds every day because the entire Democrat Party instigates black racism every day in every way. Listen up, people. There is no nation that has done more for black citizens, spent more money, or launched more programs to bolster the black community than the USA. And the level of ingratitude that we see in America's black community is disgusting. The Palestinians are back in the news. I have not taken them on in a while. You remember the Palestinians, the fake race of people who were invented in 1948 for the express purpose of stealing Israel from the Jews? Well, apparently the Israelis have been inviting the Palestinians to their homes for dinner. So, Palestinian leadership has declared that, quote, having dinner with a Jew is treason. Hey, can't allow goodwill or mutual respect. That would go against the Palestinians' plan to destroy Israel. I salute the Israelis who offer the hand of friendship to their worst enemies. That's how God Almighty would have us to be. And it clearly shows who is on the side of God and who is not. And it's a good time to say hello to Lizzie Youssef, my new Facebook friend in Israel. Lizzie, thanks for being my friend, and thanks for keeping me posted on what's happening over in Israel. Ernest Caldwell just posted a quote from Barack Obama. In 2008, Obama asked, how many times is Biden going to say something stupid? I pray that Trainwreck Joe and Jihad Obama end up as cellmates sometime soon. Lord, you could make that happen. Simone Sanders, whoever that is, says Biden is committed to putting a black woman on the Supreme Court. Whatever happened to simply choosing the best of all candidates, regardless of skin color? No such thing in the Democrat Party. You know, to a racist, everything is a skin color issue. How do you identify a racist? Well, just look to see who tries to turn everything into a skin color issue. The Democrat Party runs on racism. Without racism and sexual perversion, the Democrat Party would cease to exist. Well, here's an impressive poll. Now, I don't usually bother with polls because they're often just fake political weapons of the dirty Democrats. But I believe this one. 94% of Americans say they want a nationalist overhaul of our economy. They want more tariffs on imports, country of origin labeling, and a requirement that vital goods be made in America. I am stunned that the vast majority of common medications that we use come from China, the most untrustworthy nation in the world. Well, I would trust Islamic nations even less, but they don't have the technology to make anything other than bombs. Americans are overwhelmingly willing to pay more for American-made goods, and I agree. You know, I am angry that chickens that we buy in our grocery stores are often loaded on ships, sent all the way over to China for processing and packaging, and then shipped all the way back to be sold in our grocery stores. I would love to get my hands on the congressman who set up that idiotic deal. You can bet that they pocketed a lot of Chinese money for their treachery. Now, here we have the Democrat mayor of Chicago launched a police raid to shut down services at Cornerstone Baptist Church last Sunday. But because it is Chicago, the doors are always locked during the service to keep gunmen from bursting in and shooting people. So the cops pounded on the doors demanding to be let in, and Pastor Lewis refused. He said it was like watching a KGB raid. He says the church simply wants the same consideration that is given to liquor stores, abortion clinics, and Walmart. Chicago has been hammering churches with heavy fines for opening their doors in violation of the lockdown policies. First Amendment, the freedom to gather peaceably, shall not be infringed. But here's a wild bill bullet of truth for America. The Democrat Party hates the Christian faith. Why? Primarily because sexual perversion cannot survive where faith in God is strong. The Democrat Party has chosen Sodom and Gomorrah over God, and they will continue to persecute America's Christians at every opportunity. I tell you, the primary battle in the USA is not left versus right. It is liberalism versus God. We see it at every level of our government and society. So choose carefully whom you will serve. You cannot serve both God and the Democrat Party. Now, I know I've hammered the Democrat Party hard in this video, and that's okay. They should be challenged. They should be called out. Do not be intimidated by these people. And if you're a Christian, it's time for you to find your courage and find your voice. A silent Christian is a defeated Christian. This is Wild Bill for America. Thanks for watching, and America bless God again.